What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word ice? Wonderful winter snow, a mouth-watering cone of ice cream on a warm summer day, or perhaps a refreshing bottle of beer after a long day at work. But how about frozen animals, vessels, or ancient artifacts? Here's a countdown we're filing under Weird Things You Don't See Every Day. Let's take a closer look at the 10 most incredible things found frozen in ice. What's up, Factnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Stick around because researchers are having zero chill when it comes to uncovering the mysteries of our #1 entry. Time to break the ice. Number 10. Frozen Frog. In 2014, photographer Svein Nordrum was just out skating on a frozen lake just outside Oslo, Norway, when he chanced upon this poor amphibian that had frozen to its death. Nordrum's stunning images show the frog just seemingly sleeping with its eyes closed and its hind legs outstretched. Nordrum assumed that the frog was trying to find a hole in the ice, but got stuck until its body succumbed to the freezing weather. But the story behind it might be a little more tragic if you ask wildlife experts. A Norwegian conservationist offered up that the frog could have actually been looking for a mate when it froze. Because these amphibians usually hibernate during winter, some experts presume that for some reason the frog felt warmer at one point and became active and ready for some action. But instead of love, he found death in a hopeless place. Stay tuned till our #1 pick because we're venturing into the unknown. Number 9. 100-year-old cake. The best thing about Christmas is eating fruit cake, said no one ever.
How about no?
I mean, just look at all that green and red stuff pretending to be fruit, and don't get me started on the overly sweet and mushy dough that tastes like a weird cinnamon cocktail drink in bread form.
What?
And in case you need further proof that fruitcakes are virtually indestructible, consider this one that was discovered in 2017 at Cape Adare in Antarctica that's believed to be 100 years old. Wrapped in tin and paper, the conservators who found the cake said it looks and smells edible. Historians believe a British explorer named Robert Falcon Scott brought the fruitcake to Antarctica during the Terra Nova exploration between 1910 and 1913. If there's anything the untouched fruitcake proved, it's that Antarctica is a perfect place to preserve history. And that our universal dislike for the holiday cake goes way, way back. Number 8. Iron Age garment. It might not look like much at first glance. Heck, you might even call it an out-of-style rag, but this completely intact tunic dates back to 300 AD, which means it's more than 1,700 years old. This piece of clothing from the Iron Age was found on the Lendbreen Glacier in Norway in 2011. The material used is believed to be lamb's wool, had no buttons, and had been repaired with 2 patches. Researchers believe that the tunic was once owned by a hunter who frequented the icy regions of Scandinavia in search of deer. Aside from giving us a glimpse into the utilitarian fashion sense of people from the Iron Age, the ancient garment also sheds new light on the interplay between Northern Europe and the Roman civilization. Number 7. Ancient pit house. From 1400 to 1900, the Inuvialuit people from Western Canada would live in subterranean nests called cruciform houses because of how they look from above. Each of the 3 large alcoves could accommodate 2 different families, and the flooring is made up of driftwood logs. But even though excavated parts of these houses have been unearthed throughout the years, it was only in 2014 that a cruciform pit house had been fully dug up. Max Friesen, the archaeologist who uncovered the pit home in the Mackenzie Delta in Canada, believes that the newly discovered cruciform house may have been lived in for 20 to 40 years before being abandoned, covered in permafrost and becoming completely frozen. Now that deserves a housewarming party. Number 6. A Mammoth Discovery. The woolly mammoth, believed to be the ancestors of the Asian elephant, is a prehistoric species that lived during the Pleistocene era. Yep, in pop culture, it's Manny from the movie Ice Age.
Oh, look at me. Give me a hug.
In the past few years, due to climate change causing the Arctic to warm at a faster pace, woolly mammoth remains have been discovered in Russia's Siberian region, but the most recent ones were unearthed from the bottom of a Siberian lake in 2020. The Russian scientists were able to recover some well-preserved bones, tendons, skin, and even excrement of an adult woolly mammoth, which is thought to be between 15 and 20 years old and stood 10 feet tall. Experts say the remains are at least 10,000 years old, but they haven't determined yet when the mammoth walked the earth. In honor of the family who first discovered the skeletons, the woolly mammoth might be named Tadibi. Number 5. Hidden Treasure. In 2013, mountaineer Alexandra Pitton had only one goal in mind: to reach the summit of Mont Blanc in France, known to be one of Europe's highest peaks. What he didn't plan on was to do some treasure hunting, yet he descended the mountain carrying oodles of precious stones buried under the ice. His gemstone haul consisted of rubies, sapphires, and emeralds worth over $250,000. But how did that much treasure get there?
Wow.
Upon investigation, authorities believe that the jewels came from an Air India flight that crashed into the mountain in January of 1966, which killed 177 passengers. The flight is believed to have carried a number of wealthy Indian nationals. However, the precious stones could also have come from another Indian plane named Malabar Princess, which also crashed in the area in 1950, 15 years before the Air India aircraft did. Although further investigations are currently underway to search for the rightful owner of the gemstones, if no heirs claim the treasure trove, then Pitton will be entitled to half of the valuable haul, and half will go to the French state. Now, where did I hide my climbing shoes? Number 4. Flying fish? This photo that got its fair amount of internet fame is not a product of some mad Photoshop skills. It was actually snapped in March of 2015 at the Lake Andes National Refuge in South Dakota. And nope, the school of fish weren't frozen by Elsa mid-leap out of the water. According to Kelly Preheim, the photographer who took the gravity-defying picture, the fish could have been long dead and had been floating to the surface of the water. And when the weather became colder, the icy waters and strong winds might have caused them to end up in that vertical position. I don't know about you, but all that heavy science just makes me want to believe the Snow Queen did it. Number 3. Terror on the seafloor. In 2016, researchers discovered the wreck of the HMS Terror on the seabed of Terror Bay in the Arctic region. But aside from its sinister name, what makes the HMS Terror so special? Well, for one, this ship was first launched in 1813, served as a bomb vessel, and was used during the War of 1812 between the U.S. and Great Britain. In 1845, the Terror was repurposed for a scientific voyage through the Northwest Passage under Sir John Franklin until it was abandoned in 1848. Archaeologists were utterly stunned at how intact the ship was, despite remaining under the sea for more than 170 years. Dinner plates and glasses were still on the shelves, the beds and desks were in order, and journals and photographs have survived the deep sea all these years. Number 2. Frozen fox. No human or animal is safe from the wrath of freezing weather. Surely not this poor fox that was discovered by a German hunter in January of 2017 while he was out on the Danube River. The canine, who is believed to have drowned before getting frozen solid, was completely encased in a solid block of ice like a twister version of an ice sculpture. And you know what the man who discovered the frozen fox did? He displayed it in front of his family's hotel as a warning of the dangers of walking on ice. Whatever happened to good old posters and warning signs? And while we're on the subject, I wonder what the fox said when it froze to death. Before we go to our number one pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. Number 1. Prehistoric Forest. Just when you thought researchers had already uncovered all the wonders and mysteries lying under the ice in Antarctica, in 2017, scientists dug up the fossilized remains of an actual rainforest that grew 90 million years ago. Yes, during the mid-Cretaceous era when dinosaurs still roamed the planet. Evidence of this prehistoric rainforest was found in the soil on the seabed near Pine Island Glacier. The 90-million-year-old dirt contained spores, pollen, and remnants of flowering plants that altogether indicate the western Antarctica was, in fact, a temperate, swampy forest. Very unlike the icy landscape that it is now. The pollen and spores are currently being used to reconstruct the vegetation during that era to paint a better picture of the actual land before time. So, which of these discoveries melted your cold, cold heart? Let us know in the comments section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? Wanna chillax with some more fascinating finds? Then don't miss our list of the 10 people who were frozen in time. Till then, keep warm and fuzzy, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.